Let me tell you about Hamas and them. They hate you. They hate you. Yeah, all the protesters, free Palestine. Let me tell you something. If they have a chance, they'd kill you and your whole goddamn family.
Yeah, I know some of the greatest shooters in the world, and people want to speculate, right? Now, I can look at it and I can go, okay, why would people say,
I looked up there and I was like, like we said earlier, why would a guy in all black be on a white roof? A professional wouldn't do that.
The military has never been a reflection of society. That's why we've been around for 250 fucking years. There are disciplines, there are standards, and you have to meet them or you're just not welcome here.
We want to start today's show off with a quick quote. All that is necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing.
You know, it wasn't but 24 short years ago that radical Islam flew planes into our buildings and killed damn near 3,000 Americans. In my mind, somebody in a cave in Upikistan should still be paying for that, right? But on that terribly evil and screwed up day that will scar this nation forever, to see us on the day after that, there was no better place to be than the United States of America. Black, white, gay, straight, Protestant, Catholic, everybody had come together, and we were tight, man. It was a place to be proud of. Bo, where have we gone, man?
I don't know. We've gone so far away from that. What happened to that? What happened to that national pride we had as just being an American? Right, wrong, or difference, black, white. It didn't matter. We were all Americans. Now there's so much hate going on, and I'm trying my damnedest right now to not be emotional and not say something really stupid, because I want to have nothing but fact here, not emotion. Like a lot of them idiots out there, they think that their emotions is reality, and it is not. And look what happened yesterday to Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, I think we've forgotten what makes us special. But sometimes I look inward, and I try to think, man, what could we do better? I think we've become complacent, right? And I think with all the bad actors, the bad behavior, and the bad actions by Americans, I think we have over-tolerated too many bad acting people.
I have tried to be as tolerant as I can be, believe it or not, and I fail quite a bit because it's just the way I am. But I try, and I have absolutely tried to find the good in everybody. I have. I swear to God to you. But I'm going to tell you right now, after the events of yesterday and me thinking back today at what happened in 9/11, these people have robbed me the luxury. They have literally robbed me the ability to be tolerant anymore. Okay? I can't even begin to try to look for the good in these people anymore. And I'm done. And usually we're having a good time up here and we're laughing and joking. We're even having a few drinks, Not today. I can't find nothing funny today. I can't find no reason to celebrate today. I can't find no reason to have a little bit of whiskey or even a beer today. I'm sickened to my stomach over how this country is going. And there's a lot more of us that are thinking like me today. I'll guarantee that.
Yeah. And Seabass, I seen a lot of comments this morning on social media, heard a lot of things from a lot of guys, right? Warriors, guys, multiple Purple Hearts, decorations for valor, life-saving medals, warriors, men and women that have stood in the gap to protect our freedoms here at home and have given life, limb, and eyesight, you name it, abroad to keep this country safe, right? And one of those Marines, Lance Corporal, hit me up when I put a post out there, was talking about stuff. You know what he said to me? He goes, I said it yesterday, Gunner. Good is winning and radicals are losing. They're scared. Eradicate this evil as much of as peacefully and respectfully as possible, but I'll be damned if I'm not ready for the alternative. I think the crazy has pushed good men and women to the edge, and people are pissed. And I think, we all got to reflect a little bit and say, hey, I've been too fucking tolerant. Yeah, and I'm not trying to start a fucking riot here. It's gone out of control. People are suffering. And look, if you're a bad actor, All right, we go back to the deadly sins: greed, laziness, sloth, pride, all these things. I think the fighting male of this country has been demonized, and what we've done is we've tried to explain to everybody how weakness is a strength. Right?
When did strong Christians and masculinity become a bad thing?
You know, we have demonized the working class masculine male in this country. Oh, he's just a racist, angry, ultra conservative white guy. We don't do enough with the wayward and downtrodden. You know, I'm going to profile here the obese, effeminate, weak white male. We had 2 of them in Buffalo, West Virginia, over the weekend protesting fascism.
Yeah, all two
of you. But people latch onto this, and we give them a platform. We allow them to speak. We just don't have the courage to stand up and say, "Hey, man, you're wrong."
Let me put it to you this way. Let's look at our military real quick. Do you think our enemies, North Korea, China, friggin' Iran, yada, 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 they take their soldiers, sailors, or whatever the fuck they call themselves, and do you think they have sensitivity classes and fucking DEI classes and all that shit? No, they didn't. Thank God we got a new president. Thank God we got a new Secretary of War that ended all that bullshit.
I'm not going to beat up the military piece too much, but I will tell you this. The military has never been a reflection of society. That's why we've been around for 250 fucking years. There are disciplines, there are standards, and you have to meet them or you're just not welcome here. And guess what? That's okay. I'll fight it for you. Bo will fight it for you. Seabass will fight it for you. There's plenty of Americans that will do that for you.
You know, listen, serving in the military is not a right. I don't give a shit what anybody says. It's not a right. It's a pleasure.
It's a privilege.
Okay? It's a privilege and a pleasure. Okay? And if you can't cut the fucking mustard, then go home. Do something else good for your country. Right. That don't make you a bad American. Just be a good American.
Right. We have gotten to where people that are of no value to society, not a hunter or a gatherer, not one that's going to help their neighbor. You've just been allowed to exist in the dark and sit around and bury yourself in all these negative feelings that materialize in us creating a whole generation of weak, fucked up, sick people.
You know, let's talk about the assassination attempts on the president. Okay, he had 2 of them, and one he was shot, literally was shot. Okay, and then yesterday the murder and assassination of Charlie Kirk. Okay, don't make no mistake about it, people. Them bullets were not just meant for them two; they were meant for you. They were meant for people like me and JC. Because we're fucking winning again. And we're putting this country back on track. Think about that. Them bullets weren't just for them. It was also for you.
And I'll add just my 2 cents. I would argue Charlie Kirk is a moderate, right? Like, people would call him far right and stuff. You can go way further right than I would.
You know, yeah, man.
Absolutely.
And look, man,
He talked about peace and love and understanding. You know, he was a strong Christian man. He did never belittle anybody. He never called him a scumbag. He never no matter who you were, he never doubted your humanity.
He invited public, honest, and debate in a safe environment.
And 9 out of 10 of the people that even tried to debate him, you know, they debated him with emotion, not fact. That's why he made him run away. And that's why they hated him, because he won every single time. And God bless him and his family. Yeah. And a father of 2. He took his life because you didn't like his views, because he was right, and he hurt your fucking feelings. Stand by. More of it's coming.
I don't even have to go down the path of Christianity, but if you want to boil it down, if you're somebody that chooses to keep religion out of this, look at anything in this world. Charlie had his shit together.
Absolutely.
And in that regard, he was bulletproof. So if you want to go debate this man, you better have your shit together.
Yeah.
And I think, really, if you boil it down, we have people that don't have their shit together, that want to rally around crazy, and you have people that have their shit together. And I think people that have their shit together are just tired of this madness, man.
We are. We're too tolerant. I'm telling you, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I'm going to call it like it is now. You know, I'm not going to try to find the good in you. I'm going to see the bad in you right now, and I'm going to call it out. End of story.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, if we don't start doing that, They're going to keep doing exactly what the hell they're doing.
I'm putting this out to men. Okay, we were talking out here before Seabass showed up. 5 years ago, I had a guy communicate a threat to me and my daughter. He acted like he was going to pull out a taser. I got my daughter to cover. I got her into a local store. I went out and confronted the guy, and I knocked his fucking ass out. That's not to say old JC's a tough guy, so come at me with your bullshit comments. Don't want to hear it. The point is, cops show up. They detain this guy. Well, if we put him in jail, we're just going to have to let him go. Wait a second. This dude pulled a taser on me while I was walking my 7-year-old daughter. Are you out of your mind?
I seen the video. That guy came after JC with a goddamn taser, and JC knocked him the fuck out. And then the cop couldn't take him to jail. Are you fucking? The next level after a taser is what, JC?
It's death.
It's death. You come at me with a taser, I'm gonna fucking kill you. End of story.
Well,
and we had a judge. We have our judges now. Let him go. So we may do what is within the bounds of legal, but we don't do what's just. And that's a shame. And what we do is we let all these bad actors that do all these bad, we let them go.
No cash bail?
No cash bail.
Democrats?
There is no accountability for bad behavior. And it's got to stop. When you see evil, when you see things messed up, you got to call it. And I knew it was a fucking problem when I knocked that dude out and he was in his mid-40s, right? And he decided he wanted to do that to me. And I had guys locally come up. I was going to say something to him one time, but guess what? I didn't.
Yeah, right.
Long before he crossed paths with me, somebody should have put a lump on that guy's head.
You might have saved his life by just knocking him out, JC, because he may have come up to somebody that would just pull out a gun and shot him.
And I stop protecting weak and ill-meaning men. So if you know somebody out there that constantly hides in their house, they only come out at dark, in fascism, never get
they hide their faces.
Hide your faces. I never get it. They never get out and socialize with people, and they're a fucking weirdo. Yeah, you might want to look at them. You might want to be a little bit vigilant. Remember the vigilant? It's a shame. Remember how we used to do the anti-terrorism videos? Remain vigilant, and we all made fun of it. That was to deal with terrorists. Guess what? I'm talking about doing that with our own fucking people.
Absolutely. Look what happened on that. Look what happened in Charlotte. That poor little girl. I shouldn't have said anything.
Look, I'm going to tell you right now. The Charlie Kirk thing upset me. But I will tell you this. Much like a warrior on a battlefield, Charlie went out on his fucking shield.
He sure did. He went out on his shield.
Now, this poor girl left a war-torn Ukraine to come to the land of the free for safety and a better life. She died alone on a fucking train, and 5 Americans were on the train and did what, Bo? Not a fucking thing.
Well, yeah, let's go deeper than that. It was 5 black Americans that did absolutely nothing with that white girl. And I don't give a shit if you call me racist or not. I don't care. Don't care anymore. Because guess what? If it would have been reversed the other goddamn way, Charlotte would be burning to the ground right now. And you know who I hold responsible for that? No, not the black community. Fuck that. It's the white liberal. Who was that? Malcolm X? What did he say?
He said that's the biggest enemy of the black man is the weak white liberal.
It's the weak white liberal. Because he feeds you this bullshit and you fucking believe it. I don't give a shit, man. I'm over it and I'm done. I'm pissed.
That video was
Prove me wrong.
Hey, we collectively, white, black, Asian, Hispanic, we have got to do better. For a refugee from a war zone to come here looking for a better life, to die alone, bleeding out in a fucking train, and 5 nothing. We all own a piece of that, and we should all be ashamed.
The black men that I'm used to being with and hanging out with would have stood up and stomped his fucking guts out. See, that's why I'm having a hard time now since I've been out of the military. The black Marines that I knew would have stood up and stomped his fucking guts out. He wouldn't have even got that knife close to that girl's throat. No. So I'm telling you, when I got out here, I'm starting to see shit, and I don't like it. And I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. And I tried to be as tolerant as I can, but I can't anymore. And I'm starting to get emotional. And so I better settle down right now. But if you call me a white nationalist, you call me a racist for telling the truth, I don't give a fuck anymore. Don't care. And guess what? For those of you out there, he definitely is a racist. He lost his fucking mind, yada, yada, yada. Well, guess what? I have 2 mixed black grandchildren that I'd love more than anything in this world, and I would die for any one of them. You hear me? At any time. So don't pull that bullshit on me. I just call it like I fucking see it.
I think that makes you probably one of the more normal ones reacting to all this. Is that
Well, I'm just not scared to say it.
Was that you're getting emotional? A lot of people on social media are acting pretty heartless about everything that's going on.
Look.
No, but emotions a lot of time they think is fact, and emotions is not fact all the time.
Sure.
Your decisions in life can't be guided by emotions, and we learned that from a very young age as Marines. You don't make emotionally based decisions because you're going to cost somebody their life.
That's a fact.
But I can't sit here and say that my emotional strings have not been plucked by the evil that I've seen recently. And it's not just in Charlotte on the train. It's not just what happened with Charlie Kirk. We had a transgender, right? And I'm going to say it transgender, that it has a known track. That community has a known track of mental illness, right? I think it's 48% of transgenders attempt suicide. Why? Because it is a mental illness. They showed up at a Catholic church while kids were praying, and they killed two of them. This individual, this male, killed two of them. And we want to make it about guns. The person on the train got killed by a pocket knife. Listen, you can't legislate evil out of society. You've got to make a stand on it at the individual level, at the community level. Everybody's got to make a stand, right? And we've got to be more vigilant. You got to call it out when you see it, and you've got to say, "I'm no longer tolerating this bullshit."
I don't know where they come up with this shit. You know, the other day, yesterday, I'm looking online, and it's jackass down in Florida, he has that Trump disease, whatever the fuck they call it. He put on fucking Facebook, "I don't give a fuck about Charlie Kirk." So I fired at his ass, you know, and he says, now he's trying to say that he didn't mean it like that. He just don't give a fuck about it. Fuck him. I know exactly what he means, and everybody knows what he means, okay? And then he tried to say that, well, maybe it was the president. I'm sure the president had something to do with it, had something to do with it because it was causing a distraction to what the illegal things that he's been doing. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you fucking kidding me? And then you got MSNBC. They tried to say, what did they say? Oh, couldn't that shot possibly be from one of his supporters? Celebratory fire? Are you fucking... And people actually watch these people. And they actually make a lot of money.
So what's your guys' take on those conspiracy theories coming up in the last...
It's conspiracy theories. It ain't really it ain't worth my fucking time.
I think it's irresponsible.
Tell them about that shooter, JC.
It's irresponsible to do that, in my mind, right?
Absolutely, it's irresponsible.
You know, and people that I know, even I know some of the greatest shooters in the world, right?
Yeah, it's no shit either. He's just scout sniper.
Yeah, I know some of the greatest shooters in the world, and people want to speculate, right? Now I can look at it and I can go, okay, why would people say?
I looked up there and I was like, you know, like we said earlier, why would a guy in all black be on a white roof? A professional wouldn't do that. Okay?
No.
Now I guarantee, and he ran. They see him running across the building, right? On the forward front of the building. I'd run in the back where nobody could see him. He obviously knew what he was going for and shit. And people said, oh, he had to be a professional shooter. I know 12-year-old deer hunters in Michigan that can make that shot with the right rifle and the right scope. So settle down about the distance, people. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
The average hunting rifle, not a precision rifle, the average hunting rifle holds about 1.5 inches to a 2-inch group. That's about that big, right?
With the right scope.
At 100 yards. So at 200 yards, you've got a group that's probably about that big, right? To take that shot, you know, if you're doing sniper work for real and somebody gives you a full frontal shot, I'm putting a bullet right here. I'm not messing with shooting.
And I guarantee you, he was going for hit the whole body. He wasn't going for the neck.
So I don't want to speculate if that was a professional.
I doubt it.
Here's the funny thing.
He may have had some training somewhere.
When it comes to professional people that do that work for a living, 99.9% of them are conservatives and would never do something like that. Because they've probably been in a position, they've been downrange, they've had to defend this country, they protect free speech, they protect the Second Amendment, and they are morally guided. Whoever did that is a fucking scumbag. So what I would...
And the people that support his actions are even more pieces of shit.
Yeah, it is deeply, deeply troubling that we've really... You shot a man for having an opinion. You shot a man for having an opinion that was rooted in fact, and you shot him for it.
I don't think he ever called for violence either. It'd be different if he was.
He never called for violence.
Never,
not one time. He was totally against it.
Half his talks were preaching Christianity and trying to get people to love.
Let's go back. Now we're done talking about our society here. Let's go back. You know what this is right here? This piece of metal? It's a piece of the World Trade Center.
You want to show everybody? You want to hold it up a little bit?
Right there. Piece of a World Trade Center. It was given to me by a New York City firefighter and a New York City police officer when I was a drill instructor at Parisana, because their nephew and the firefighter's son was actually I trained him, and they gave that to me on graduation day. And they said, thank you for doing your job in training my son, and the other one said my nephew the way you did, because we did our job that day. Now he's got to go do his. And I appreciate this, and I want you to have this. And I've kept that. And every day I look at that thing, and it reminds me about that horrible fucking day. And everybody seems to have forgotten about that day. You know, everybody. You know, all these people, 9/11. What's 9/11? They don't even know. These kids nowadays, they're not even taught what that day is. Are you kidding me? Oh, you know why? Because of the liberal, tolerant pieces of shit we have in our school system right now. That's why.
I brought up the other day, I personally think we should, to protect our children. That's our most precious resource, is our children.
Absolutely,
and that's not even debatable. Mm-hmm. And I honestly think that we should offer our teachers, in some state, I think a couple states do this, offer our teachers the opportunity to conceal carry in the classroom. Make them go through a qualification course, make them go through a mental health background check, and the ones that want to carry can. And you're going to offer at that point, because the people that are committing evil acts in this country are fucking cowards.
Dude, if I was a teacher,
and if you make somebody have to guess, well, I don't think I'm going to go into Mr. Morris's room. You know why? You might catch one in the running lights, right? You've got to, sometimes the shepherd has to tend to his flock.
Politics and feelings have to get out of the curriculum, first of all. Okay? You're not supposed to teach your politics to the kids in school, which is what they were doing. They weren't educating, they were indoctrinating. Okay? They're indoctrinating. All right? The teachers need to have a mental health test first. Yeah. I'm telling you that right now. There's some great teachers out there trying to do their job, and the rest of them fuck them up. Let me be a teacher. Come into Mr. Bodette's room and try to kill some kids.
And for those that have been indoctrinated, this from me. I mean, this is a message to you. If you're watching this and you're hating on these two alpha old grunts for their opinions, that's fine.
Don't care.
But if you find yourself alone in your parents' basement, or you're sharing an apartment with your buddies, you stay in the dark all day playing video games, you're either real skinny because you're malnourished and you do nothing but energy drinks and play video games, or you're a fat, obese, fucking sack of shit, effeminate, weak, non-confrontational person, you need to go find the last person that loved you enough in your life to tell you were fucked up, and go back to them, because that was the last time somebody showed you true love, and go say, hey, I need to get fucking right, because the hole you're in is going to get deeper and it's going to get darker. And when the pressures of this nation getting good again come collapsing down on you, and you decide to expose yourself from the darkness, it should be to seek light, not to bring more darkness to the fucking world. I mean that from the bottom of my fucking soul, man.
Ain't that the truth, JC? You hit it right on the head, buddy.
We have no fucking. There is no room for you here anymore.
No, and I'm telling you, and the American people are starting to see it. They are starting to see it. I don't know which more I even want to talk about right now on this show, because I have absolutely, I've said all that I could say.
Being good to your fellow man and helping people up and giving a hand up, not a handout. It's a gift to itself. It makes you feel better. It makes everybody around you better. We owe our kids better leadership, and I hope we find a way to do it. But we've got to get rid of this tolerant shit. We've got to become vigilant, and we've got to start looking out for each other as fellow humans and as fellow Americans.
Now, real quick on tolerance. Sure, we do have to be tolerant for some things. There's no doubt about that. But I am done being tolerant, or even trying to be tolerant, for jackasses. You need to call me he, they, she, fuck you, whatever the hell they want to be called. No, if you're a dude, I'm going to address you as a dude. I am not going to participate in your fucking lie.
Yeah.
And another, okay, JC, today I'm going to identify as a great white shark.
Fuck.
They got kids nowadays in schools that pretend they're cats. and to get away with it. Oh my God! Listen, people. I try to love everybody, and that may come as a surprise to y'all. I don't doubt their humanity, okay? But I got to question their mental health. And I know people don't like to be called crazy, but you're mentally fucking sick, okay? You need help. You fucking need help, okay? End of fucking story. Yeah. I'm done even talking about this. I mean, today is a somber day, 9/11, and nobody hardly talks about that anymore. I mean, I remember that day, JC. After I went home that day, and I told my wife, and I held my little children in front of me, and I said, Dad's going away for a while, and this world is never going to be the same. And I knew that, and God damn it, it wasn't, was it?
I remember driving through. I was coming back from my grandmother had passed, and I was coming back through a toll booth. And for some reason, I wasn't listening to a CD. And I was flipping through the radio, and it sounded like Paul Harvey. And then the second plane flew into. I'm like, what? And I'm driving, and I stop at a truck stop, and everybody's talking about the World Trade Centers. This is 2001, right? And then, lo and behold, you find this out. And again, that should have been a moment that brought us together and kept us together. COVID, there's another big thing that should have brought us together with a common enemy. That originated in some wet market in fucking China. But what does everything do? We allow the media, and we allow weak, greedy, selfish, scared people to divide us. Man, go out to this is what I would say. Nothing bad happens from you going out today, reaching out to your neighbor, and helping pull people out of the fucking darkness.
You know what kind of concerns me, too? Is me and JC, we know a lot of peaceful men that are capable of great violence. And when they have had enough, it's not going to be good. I'm going to tell you that right now. And you know what? They're going to be justified because of your actions. Think about it. Think about what you've done. President Trump won the last election because you went so fucking far to the left, you were ridiculous. Okay? You're the ones that put him in power, you jackasses. Think about that. We have Democrats. Listen, when President Trump ran for president last time, he had two people that ran against him, okay? They were both Democrats. Of course, they were Democrats. And now guess what? They're on his fucking cabinet. Yeah. Figure that out.
That should be your sign. And I think everybody wants what's best for America, right? But, and you got to love it. People go out there and take Robert Kennedy, and they're like, oh, he's out of his mind. He comes from the most powerful Democrat family on the planet. He's a Kennedy.
They're royalty. They're American royalty.
And he's calling out things like, hey, maybe we have high autism because of right? Maybe we have this because of that, right? And we have to look. We are the sickest country around. It's crazy. Here's something. Talk to your neighbor. Get sunlight. Eat whole foods. Drink water. Take a knee and face outboard. We've heard that somewhere before, right? All those things work.
Get off the couch. Go hunt deer.
Right?
Eat deer.
No. We want to shovel you a pile of pills and feed you processed food with cancer-causing chemicals in it.
And give you excuses why you're fat.
They want you to be tolerant of their ideas, but as soon as you try talking about anything...
And look, it all comes back, and we wonder where we get all this weakness from. Look, we know this just as well or better than anybody. Nothing good or worthwhile in this fucking world is going to come cheap, easy, or free. You're going to have to pay for it.
Somebody's paying.
Somebody's fucking paying. It's going to hurt for somebody. It ain't going to come cheap, easy, or free. Man.
I think I maybe got a way for us to tie us together and finish up.
Go ahead, man.
So, today's 9/11. 24 years ago, we were attacked, okay? But a lot of people, again, coming back to conspiracies, a lot of people who, especially people who don't have their shit together, right? They know everything about every conspiracy theory, but they can't see the pecker past their belly button. You know what I'm saying?
Conspiracy theories are dangerous. Okay? They are dangerous. Keep your fucking mouth shut and just look at the fucking facts. Okay? Just shut your fucking mouth and quit spreading that bullshit around, okay?
Yeah. Next time somebody that has no life experience, I see them walk around.
Right.
Next time I see somebody talk about free Palestine, right? That is
Yeah.
an area of the world that's controlled by Hamas,
Yeah.
An Islamic terrorist organization. I'm going to tell you what, and this ties to the 9/11 piece, and a lot of veterans out there wish we would have finished. I think they would say the same thing in the Vietnam War. Let me tell you something. For every bad guy that I shot at in the mountains of Afghanistan, when I see locals walking around with a young boy with makeup on their faces, they prepare to take him back to their hooch and butt rape him. You people are fucking
Well,
evil.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
I got no fucking use for you. All right? Good riddance, right? And when I go to Iraq and I patrol by a house and I hear a guy whistle for a dog, I say to myself, wait a second. They don't
remember this.
They shoot dogs. And I hear a guy whistle and I look and he's whistling for his child who is naked crawling in the yard with spinal bifida.
Yep. And we seen that. I remember him. He
We've
lived right
se-
outside the fob.
So know this for reference. We have seen evil, right? And I hope and pray we never have another 9/11. But America has got to come back together. And remember, this is your loyalty. This is your family here.
All these people free Palestine. I got news for you, motherfuckers. Let me tell you about Hamas and them. They hate you. They hate you. Yeah, all the protesters free Palestine. Let me tell you something. If they have a chance, they'd kill you and your whole goddamn family, because that's who they are. You have no idea. I've seen that evil. So has JC. A lot more of us out there have seen that too. You people have no fucking clue what you're talking about.